Logan, what were the past 5 or 6 days like for you since that tough start at Dodger Stadium, and how determined were you to come out here and put together the performance that you had tonight?
Yeah, definitely. You want to get back on the right side of things. I feel like my stuff's been good. It's just like good games or bad games just are kind of dependent on my mentality and recommitting to my plan every batter. Like I was really pretty good at first pitch strikes tonight and just trying to race to 2 strikes as quick as possible and then expand from there. When I do that, I'm usually in better situations. So it's really about just that simple mentality that helps me.
It seemed like you were able to just really utilize the edges tonight. Was that kind of reflective of what you were trying to do and just the effectiveness that you were able to do so?
I usually try to throw it as hard as I can down the middle, so and then with 2 strikes expand. But I mean that's kind of how we pitch our game plan. And then when you miss the corners. I mean, we're still going. You know, that's a very simplistic way to put what we do. As we get ahead or different batters, we definitely have a little more in-depth plan, but I try to keep it really simple out there.
Look, it looked like the fastball had good life. You used it a lot. You know, just over the years, it seems like it's easier. It's there more often. You know, the first year you threw it a ton. By the end, it was like you're fighting to it. But now it seems like you have that all the time now, where you walk out there and you have the 96, 97, even higher at times.
Yeah, and it's nice, like, going to it different times through the order or different situations in the game, so we can game plan a little bit more or give them different looks where, you know, it's not like we go just fastball first time through, but we could, or we could wait till the third time through and then, you know, you kind of show them all the spin and then go back to the fastball later. So there's a couple different ways to do it. Cal knows me really well at this point and sees really quickly what I have that night, so I think he does a good job of mixing it up and knowing when to go to it or go back to it later.
It does seem you're more unpredictable, and there's no real pattern to what you guys want to do. You can go off the page, you can do whatever when it's right.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, most nights you don't have everything, but, you know, if I'm showing 4 or 5 pitches, I feel like most of the season I've had probably at least 3 that we could go to. The slider's usually pretty consistent. Fastball's been good. Second half we've really been going to the curveball a lot more. And the splitter, of course, with 2 strikes is just a weird look. So I feel like we have different options, and 2 different kinds of spin helps a lot. Even with the cutter, kind of having 2 different fastballs. So just different looks, trying to be unpredictable.
Cabby had one tough at bat against you. There was I think 3 at bats that kind of sapped your pitch count a little bit. That's tough, isn't it? I mean, you probably wanted to go 7, but you look and you can probably pick the 3 at bats those are the ones, especially Cabby's one, I could tell.
Yeah, I just thought that before walking in here that, you know, I wish I could have gone 7, but Cabby and, like you said, a couple deep counts, especially later on, kind of stopped me at 6 there. But give him a lot of credit for doing that, fighting off some tough pitches. They have a lot of pesky hitters, so you want to be really aggressive, but, you know, they can work 10 pitch at bats, 12 pitch at bats, and kind of ruins things.
You've talked regularly about just like keeping your focus inning to inning, batter to batter, just putting up zeros. How much does that help you, that mentality, when you are pitching in a game that's scoreless tie basically into the 6th inning?
Yeah, you got to be your best every batter. You can't let up because one pitch can change the game, and especially there at the end with the last batter, Morel, I think, and a couple guys on. It's like, you know, you can pitch great for 2 hours and leave a pitch over the middle and changes the whole outing. So I was really trying to be stubborn there, getting to 2 strikes, but knowing, you know, late in the game, if it's your last batter, last inning, or whatever, you really have 4 balls to work with and trying to expand and then just empty the tank.
It did seem like the curveball was a real weapon tonight. Was that in the game plan, or was that just how it felt?
A little bit of both. I think we've been going to it more recently, and it's kind of one of those things as you show it in the first couple innings and it feels good, we kind of go to it a little bit more. Definitely could have expanded a little more. Last I think 2 hits there on the curveball with 2 strikes at the very end. So I thought it was good all night, just knowing when I get to 2 strikes that we can take more shots and let them kind of follow me out of the zone, hopefully.
Bryce was saying last night that he realized he actually had to throw his curveball more to get more swing and miss on it, because then hitters are ready for it and they're ready to swing at it. Is that maybe something that's factored into your usage of it?
Yeah, I think so. That's a good way to put it. Never thought of it like that, but I think that definitely holds true for me too. Treating it like a fastball, everything like a fastball, always helps me. And I think also, people know at this point I throw my slider a lot, and I really am confident in it. But it's such a tight, hard pitch that when we go to the curveball at different times in the game too, I think they see spin and they're expecting, playing off the fastball, and then it just kind of keeps going as it gets closer to the plate. So I think that gives me more opportunity for chase out of the zone.
Tuesday nights are slow, huh? Boy, we fought to the end again tonight. I thought Springs for them pitched a good ball game early. He had a good game plan against us and really had an outstanding changeup. I thought he mixed in his slider really well too. And it was he was tough for 5 innings, couldn't get anything going. And then, I thought Victor really ignited things. He's an exciting player. It's great to have him back in the lineup and, causing some havoc, using his legs and getting us on top. And then, a couple late inning homers, just weren't able to overcome it. Thought Logan threw the ball tremendous. That's what Logan does. Continues to mix. He used it all. Was in control. And then again, we've seen such good at bats later in the game, and a chance to come back and almost tie this thing. And they fought. They keep fighting till the end. And what more can you ask for? These guys are really, really battling in there.
It seemed like Springs did come into the zone a fair bit, but just like with the changeup and slider combination, how was he able to keep you guys off balance?
Yeah, he had a really good changeup. I think the thing that was key for him was he's able to control that outside part of the plate with the changeup. He had good command of it out there, and that's a tough pitch when you can command the outside corner with it. And I thought then he was able to use the slider sparingly as well, and just keep us off stride. I thought he kept us off guard pretty well, and I think stuck to their game plan, and we just weren't able to get anything barreled up at that point.
He doesn't throw it super hard. I think it was low 90s for most of the night, but just the way he's able to mix in those secondaries, how much does that keep you guys on balance?
Yeah, I mean it's one of those tough at bats. If he can command the outside corner with that changeup and then speed you up inside with either the slider or the fastball, doesn't have to be all that hard. It just speeds you up enough, and then it's hard to stay on that changeup. But again, I thought he pitched pretty well. But we really battled towards the end, and it was a fight till the end, no doubt.
Did it feel like there was a shift in approach as the game went on, that you guys were putting together a little bit more stingy at bats, maybe once you got him out of the game?
Yeah, I mean he was a tough customer, no doubt, and then we were able to get into the bullpen a little bit, and after you see a guy like that, the guys that come in seem a little bit more usual in some ways, right? So I think that the guys were getting to more pitches and trying to use the middle of the field again, like we've been talking about, and I thought late in the game really gave us a chance to either tie it or win it, and they kept battling all the way to that last pitch.
Then what did you see from Logan in terms of just the bounce back? He had a tough outing in LA, and it just looked like he walked out focused from the very first pitch.
Yeah, he was locked tonight. No doubt. I thought his fastball was outstanding. And, he used it all like he normally does. I thought he and Cal were on the same page pretty much all night and worked really well together. But there was a different look, I think, in Logan's eye tonight, and that big punch out there in the sixth. And I thought he was still. It was vintage Logan, I thought, and that was great to see, bouncing back tonight and giving us that kind of outing.
Stuff there were a couple, 2 or 3 at bats that kind of strung his pitch count out just enough where you couldn't really go back to him for this.
Yeah, no doubt. They're a similar team that they're going to battle. They're going to scratch and claw too, and they did have a couple at bats that pulled his pitch count a little bit longer. I think I remember Caballero coming up with a long at bat, and that. It can hurt the pitch count a little bit, but obviously just a great night for Logan for 6 innings and really kept us in this one.
Siri, I mean, he was in Mariners camp briefly. He's a very talented guy, but very unpredictable. It's like it can be all or nothing. It just one pitch and kind of was almost just thrown in his bat path. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough break right there after getting ahead, but I thought earlier in the ball game that probably doesn't go out of the ballpark because it was a little bit more windy. But credit our guys. We tried to bounce back and we gave them all they could handle.